Phishing has been a common attack vector for decades. This video will cover common phishing scams, some tips for spotting them, and ways you can protect your organization. We'll start with the most popular type of phishing attack: email. Most people are familiar with email phishing, where a hacker sends an email posing as someone trustworthy, like a coworker or a familiar brand. The email usually tries to trick the recipient into clicking a malicious link, downloading a malicious file, or typing their password into a fake login page. SMS phishing, sometimes referred to as smishing, is basically the text version of email phishing. Hackers text the recipient to trick them into taking a harmful action. Spear phishing takes traditional phishing and personalizes it. With spear phishing, hackers use social engineering to target an individual. These are generally more convincing than standard phishing attempts. Whaling uses the same tactics as spear phishing, but targets senior-level personnel. These attacks are especially dangerous because high-level employees usually have access to the most sensitive data. Clone phishing is a little different. With clone phishing, hackers infiltrate someone's email account and tamper with a legitimate email that's already been sent. They'll usually swap out real links or attachments with malicious ones, and then resend the email from the original sender's account. It'll look like the sender simply sent an updated version of the link or attachment they had previously sent. Phishing doesn't only occur via messages. In search engine phishing, hackers create a legitimate website and optimize it to show up for a common Google search. If they design it correctly, it can be difficult to spot the site as a fake. Hackers usually do this by creating fake account login pages for real companies. If users visit the page and input their credentials, they're unknowingly giving them away to the hackers. The first step to defend against phishing scams is to understand the different types. But identifying them can be a challenge. So, how can you spot them? If you suspect phishing, consider the following 7 factors. 1. Communication method. Is this person or brand contacting you the way they normally do? For example, a text from your boss might be suspicious if you and your boss usually talk over email. 2. Tone. If something feels too formal, too informal, or just generally out of character, this may be a warning sign. 3. Topic. Ask yourself if the topic or request makes sense. References to things you're not aware of, like projects or accounts, can be a red flag. The same goes for urgent or strange requests. 4. Links. As a rule of thumb, you should always be wary of links in messages. Sometimes hackers use tricks like swapping a O for a 0 or linking normal text with a malicious link. If it's a website you recognize, like a login page, you can reduce the risk by typing the URL directly into your browser. 5. Sender info. Double-check the sender's address to make sure it looks right. 6. Sensitive information. You should always be wary when a request involves sensitive information. 7. Context. Never underestimate the value of context. For example, if your boss asks you for help because they're on the go, does their calendar confirm they're traveling? Look for context clues, and when in doubt, ask yourself, does this make sense? If something makes you stop and wonder, chances are something's wrong. In addition to staying vigilant, it's important to have some preventative measures in place. The following are easy and effective ways to guard against phishing. First, conduct regular phishing training and testing. Phishing prevention relies on employees to stay vigilant and do their part. Conduct employee training regularly and consider running phishing simulations to gauge how well employees react to phishing attempts. There are many third-party companies that can conduct training and tests for you. Next, improve your password security. Phishing attacks often work by tricking employees into typing their passwords into the wrong place. There are 3 key ways to reduce the odds of this happening. 1. Single sign-on or SSO. SSO allows users to access many resources with one set of trusted credentials. With SSO, employees only have to type in the password once to access everything they need to do their work. This reduces the risk of phishing by reducing the amount of times employees have to input their credentials. 2. Multi-factor authentication, or MFA. MFA reduces the risk of phishing by making the password less powerful. It does this by adding another layer of security to the typical username-password combo. With MFA in place, a compromised password does not equal a compromised account. Hackers could only make use of a compromised password if they also had access to the second factor, like the user's device. 3. Passwordless authentication. The best way to reduce phishing risk is to remove the need for users to input their credentials altogether. Passwordless authentication is the most effective way to accomplish this. To learn more about phishing prevention, check out the link in the description.